And finally tonight, a comeback story. This one is in the music industry. Sales of vinyl records are taking off. More than 13 million of the big round platters were sold last year, and sales continue to be upbeat this year. Kate Rogers explains why vinyl is going for another spin.
That's the sound of demand for vinyl records, of all things, in a world where digital music reigns supreme. In fact, independent record pressing in Bordentown, New Jersey is aiming to manufacture 1 million records this year.
That's going to be capacity. Demand far exceeds that. We'd be able to run these presses 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and still not be able to meet demand. Capacity, really the choke point in the vinyl industry right now, and while you're hearing about the resurgence, is there is such a demand compared to what the capacity is.
And in a strange turn of events, Rutkowski thinks it may have been digital music that's created a resurgence in vinyl's popularity. According to consumer research group Music Watch, half of vinyl record buyers are younger than 25.
And I really believe that digital has helped the comeback of vinyl because digital strips out the tangibility of music. It really is just a file. And I think the great thing about vinyl is it's such a great tangible piece.
And it's not just the vinyl that's vintage. These machines are actually more than 40 years old. And in that time period, not much has changed in terms of how they operate, but it does mean that if one of them actually breaks down, fixing it can be both time-consuming and costly. It takes about 25 to 40 seconds to make one record.
The process begins with the raw vinyl being put in the machine behind you that you see in the hopper, and that raw vinyl is then heated, somewhat like a big spaghetti maker.
The vinyl is molded and pressed under 350 degrees and 100 tons of pressure. From there, the record is then compression molded, cooled, and trimmed. Next up, spot testing for quality before being packaged. With vinyl back in vogue, only one question remains. Will cassettes be next?
You hear a lot about the cassette comeback, and again, I think people aren't going to cassettes for the cassette audio. I mean, the cassette is, inferior to even to an MP3 in terms of sound, but it's a cool medium.
For Nightly Business Report, I'm Kate Rogers.